So I am very excited about this video. Why? Because I enjoy when things just work, and that's exactly what happened here. So I initially purchased Yooka-Laylee on the Xbox One, strictly on impulse. I played about 20 minutes of it, and that's probably all I'll play. Nothing against the game, it's just that for some reason it's giving me nausea. And truth be told, I do suffer from motion sickness occasionally, and sometimes a video game will set it off. Final Fantasy Type 0 is a major offender. I actually bought it on PS4, PC, and even the Japanese-only PSP release, even though I don't speak a lick of Japanese, just because I wanted to find a version that wouldn't make me motion sick, because what I played of the game I really liked. Unfortunately, no dice. I'll probably never end up playing that game. However, luckily with Yooka-Laylee, the PC version does not make me motion sick. And playing on an AMD 8350 and GTX 1070, the game runs butter smooth at 60 frames per second at 1080p, and I can play it that way for hours. And that got me thinking, will it run on my Surface Pro 3? And the answer is yes, with of course some concessions. To get it to run on the Surface, I have to lower the settings quite a bit, and there's really not many settings on Yooka-Laylee. You can set it from, I believe, all the way at the top, which is fanciest, to all the way at the bottom, which is fastest. Of course, I had to set it to fastest. I'm not exactly sure what that does, but I imagine it brings in lower resolution textures, does something with lighting and shadows, or whatever type of magic it has to do to get the thing to run. And I also set the resolution down to 800 by 600, and since that maintains the Surface Pro 3's aspect ratio, it fills up the entire screen and actually looks fairly decent overall, given the specs of the system. And in case you forgot, the specs of the Surface Pro 3 that I'm using is a i7 processor, which is good. It also has 8 GB of RAM, which is also good. But for graphics, it has an Intel HD 5000. That's not quite as good, but as you can see, the game still does run pretty smooth. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to get the frames per second of this game. I bought it through the Microsoft Store, and even if I have Steam launch it, it still removes the Steam overlay, so any frames per second counter that I have is gone. I even tried the Shadow Play FPS counter from Nvidia, and for whatever reason, when I fire up Yooka-Laylee, it also removes that overlay, so no idea what the frames per second are. It feels somewhere around 25 to 30 frames per second most of the time. However, there are hiccups as new assets load, but I mean that's to be expected on the HD 5000, considering it shares all of its RAM with the system. But overall, I would rate it very playable on the Surface Pro 3. And what about the original Surface Pro? Well, didn't quite fare so well. For whatever reason, whenever I would load the game on the original Surface, and granted that has a Intel Core i5 and an Intel HD 4000 GPU, for whatever reason, the specs were, I guess, low enough that the game just didn't want to run. So I wanted to record some video there, but it wouldn't boot up on mine. So maybe there's some issue that's holding it up. Maybe it will run on the original Surface Pro. I don't know. But on the Pro 3, with a lower resolution and lower settings, yeah, it's playable. So, hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.